wasn't even done. It ain't even done yet. It's getting done up now, but I'm gonna be posting them up and having them all out. Just promo, regular promo. I said, let me hit the street promo that people don't
Bro,
do no more.
listen, everything count.
Yeah,
Everything counts, especially in this era. Like everything count because a lot of people don't do promo no more.
yeah. They don't. They just throw it out, man.
Throw it out.
Catch
Be
it if
like
you catch it if you
surprise.
can, man.
Be
For real, for real.
like surprise. I just put a project out.
Promote that, especially when you're independent, when you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah, it's
You
no.
got it.
It don't be rollouts or nothing.
Yeah.
No more.
Like
That's
I threw it,
kind
I let people know well ahead that it was coming. They was tight, getting mad at me because I kept pushing it back and shit like that.
of.
So
Sometimes, but people don't. When they ain't doing it,
yeah,
they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
They don't
understand it.
understand it. They think it's easy.
That's crazy. I was just watching the Dre on Drink Champ shit again yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, like I'm so picky. I'm so picky about playing my music." And I'm like, I get that. And he was like, "Yo, when people don't do it, they don't understand. Like when you do it, it's a certain ear you got.
Yeah.
Like you can hear a lot of shit that other people that don't hear it.
Like I gotta get in the mode to make an album. Like shoot, the
Yeah,
last
that
album I
too.
put out was Resilient. So I feel like then I'll be talking about what I really be doing and stuff like that. So I don't be like, I ain't like I'm gonna make a bunch of chick songs or something like that. So,
Hey,
you know,
that should work too.
yeah, it do.
See out loud.
It do.
We
It do.
ready? All right. What's going on, people? Uh, welcome to No More Favors Podcast. It's your host, Siberia 1019, your favorite
Mhm.
fat boy. Today, we got BK Cashmere. So, I don't even know if he paid attention or thought about it, but this year marks the 20th year that I first heard you.
Yeah,
So, yes.
for real.
Smack DVDs.
What's the first thing you heard from me? Let me
Um,
see. Let me see.
what's the name of the song? I can't remember the exact name of the song, but I could tell you what you had on.
What I had
You
on.
had on red, and you was coming out your building.
Oh,
You had
okay.
on the red T-shirt with the
red
red
Biggie
fitted.
T-shirt with the red
Yeah,
New York
the
fitted.
red fitted.
Yeah, we was heavy deep
Uh,
out there and stuff like that.
y'all did the first part of the joint was up on the roof.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
parking lot
yeah,
on Plaza. Yeah,
yeah.
you talking about the Brooklyn, the Brooklyn joint,
Yeah, that the Brooklyn joint I
the Green
remember.
Lantern, the Green
Right,
Lantern.
Green
They don't
Lantern.
do it like me,
Yeah,
and the Over joint,
yeah.
the Over joint.
So it was you and Razor.
Razor.
The first I remember from Manhood was the label y'all was dealing with, right?
Yeah, Manhunt Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was like, oh, all right, the East got somebody. We here now. So
yeah.
you had the East really before Uncle Murder even dropped. Before we knew Murder was doing music.
I'm gonna talk my shit today, so we gonna talk. But yeah, I opened up the floodgates for artists to come through. Like
I see Mano was in your first joint.
Mano. When Mano first came home, Mano came to my studio. He came to my studio. We sat down. I had this record called Brooklyn. It was actually my first record, and Funk Flex was playing it on the radio.
With Big Daddy Kane and
Not even that
Ortiz.
joint. That was like later. That was like later.
Okay.
Not even that joint. I had a Brooklyn record. It was my first record. Kai produced it. Shout out to my dude Kai. He produced it, and it started getting waves. Like even Def Jam, Eric Nicks at Def Jam, they called the meeting, hit me up. Me and Hood went up there, and they was starting to notice me. Everybody starting to notice me. And then Mano came home. When he came home, he came to the studio. I guess he was hearing what we was doing in the streets too. And he came to the studio, and he was hungry. He was hungry. Mano was like hungry when he first came out. He was hungry. So it's my first time meeting him. And he in my
He's super
studio,
aggressive.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he in my
still.
studio. He like, yo, man, nah. So I was like, this dude just came home. He just came home, and you know, I was really gonna throw like a Biggie verse on it because Biggie and Jay was already in a hook, like just to throw a remix and see where it stick. But I actually end up throwing Bristol, rest in peace to Bristol, Lil Kim artist on it, and I threw
Drink
Mano
Mafia.
on it. Yeah, I threw Mano on it, and that became the remix of my first record on the radio ever. And it did good too. Shout out to all the DJs that was playing it back then, you know what I mean? Gave me a little household name. K-Slade,
Yeah,
DJ Enough, Funk Flex, Greenland,
the
all
DJs
of it.
was definitely supporting you.
Yeah, hard body.
Yeah,
They
the
made me who I
DJs,
am. They the reason why I could keep doing what I'm doing right now.
So they
shout out to all the DJs.
What people don't know was back then, back then we had the DVD era, as opposed to now we got the Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, so on and so forth. All these different social media platforms.
The cloudy era.
That's a good way to say
you
it.
Really, when we was out here, you really had to be in the streets. You know what I mean? Like
we had to do in stores and sign
everything,
and
man.
Promo
you
runs.
Had to take your joints to the stores and all of that. You know what I mean? Shout out to the mix DJs too. All the DJs though.
All the DJs.
The mixtape DJs, like they really held me down. Heavy Greenland, Big Mike, all of them, stuff like that. For real.
So let's see where I want to take it now, because we gonna go a little back and forth.
Yeah.
So I want.
You said like definitely.
But oh shit, pardon me. But let's come forward a little bit now for a little while. First of all, congratulations on the new album, Cut from a Different Cloth.
Thank you.
I want to see how I got some joints. I'm gonna name these songs.
The album fire too, man.
Nah, it's definitely a dope project.
Yeah,
I was
man.
listening
Like I
to
love this. Is like I took my time with this one, and then once I mixed it up in the gumbo and put it all together, like I fell in love with it myself. So I was like, I'm cool, I'm good. We're gonna be shooting some videos and everything, so y'all definitely go check that out.
So what's the lead single?
The lead single is New Wave.
New Wave.
New Wave. That's the new single produced by my boy Def Grew. He from Germany. He hit me up and was like, love what I was doing. He was like, he wanted to produce some joints for the album. He actually produced the New Wave joint and the It's Alright joint dedicated to my homie Nuke that passed away last year. So in a car accident.
Yo, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
That's one of my questions.
What's up?
That I was gonna ask you about.
What's that?
It's Alright. That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And that's a dedication to your man. So you said he passed away last year in an accident. Well, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Nuke, you said?
Yeah, Nuke.
Rest in peace, Nuke,
Yeah.
first and foremost. So you said he passed away in a car accident.
Yeah, on Mother's Day, he was actually coming from a club, and he had a little bit too much to drink, and he was on his way to go meet his wife and his kids in Las Vegas, and he crashed and flipped over a divider and passed away. So, that was like my homie. Like I used to live in Cali.
When I listened to the song, I said it's a dope song, but not only that, I could hear what you was going through. Like,
yeah,
listening to the song, I'm like, all right, I'm there. I felt like I was there. Like to really, see what was going on. I said, sometimes people hear music, but I was singing the music, kind of like how Biggie tell a story.
Yeah, you could probably, definitely. So, that's how I wrote it, actually. You know what I mean? But it just came from the heart because, like, that was like, I had homies that died, and we being from Brooklyn, we
kind of used to it.
Yeah, we kind of used to it and immune to it. Like I actually I go to my homie's funeral. I stopped like going to funerals. I might pull up, but then like I don't want to even see him like that no more. You know what I mean? So I being that Nuke died, like that was one of the first homies that like died, and like I had to I was trying to hold the pain in. And I had to cry for like 2 days like that. It was something that touched me. So I had to do a dedication to it and had to give him who he was to me. like that dude held me down out in Cali. Like it was like we had like a real bond. Like that was like my older brother, and I'm the oldest, so in my family. So having somebody like that is like sort of like a whole different feel and everything. So rest in peace to Nuke, man. Shouts to Park Village, everybody out in PVC, man. Salute. Throw your V's up. Y'all know what it is.
So you said you used to live in Cali.
Yeah.
Oh, see, how many years I knew you? I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
just knew you visit Cali a lot.
I lived in Cali for probably like 8 years. I mean, I've been back and forth to New York. New York is the home, but Cali is definitely like a second home to me. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a second home to me.
So when you go to Cali, people be like, "Oh, check in." Dude, how you feel about checking in especially in Cali?
Checking in Cali. I mean, I guess that's they culture, but you know where I'm from Brooklyn. We got a whole different vibe.
Yeah, I don't believe in the check-in. I believe in hitting my peoples and letting them know I'm in your town. So you know what I'm saying? You're aware that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I feel that's only right, because if we don't call it checking in. But if somebody from Cali or anywhere come to New York, they gonna tap in and be like, "Yo, so I'm in your town."
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I mean, where's that? Even if you ask them, "Yo, where's going on?"
I guess I check in like with my peoples, but I move different. So you know what I mean. Checking in and ain't in my vocabulary. I ain't checking in with no grown man. You know what I mean? Like I move different. So I ain't really on that. If you looking for me, you good luck. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be where I'm supposed to be. And I'm going to be right where I'm supposed to be, or I'm going to be in the cracks and the crevices. So, you know what I mean? So if I ain't too hard to find, or I might be hard to find. So it is what it is.
That's the best way to be. I think that's just some Brooklyn shit. That's how we move in Brooklyn. Like, so
and us Brooklyn dudes we ain't scared to go nowhere. Hey, I done been everywhere,
BK
man.
is everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I done been everywhere. So. I mean, we built different, you know, especially East New York. So we built very different.
What you think about the whole Big U? Who we got? Big U. We got Loose Cannon. And we got Brick Baby. I don't even care. Everybody else is just kind of fall by the waistline.
Yeah,
but those are the big three names. So they got Loose Cannon on everywhere confessing the crimes.
Yeah.
Then we got Brick Baby. The night before they picked him up, he caught online at a live interview with a pistol on his waist.
Right.
And then we got Big U, who stays off the internet but gets implicated in everything.
I honestly think that the internet and the streets just don't connect. And people just don't see that. They don't see that the street, I don't know, like, people look at me like people might look at me like, a lot of people, probably even from the hood, like they probably like see that I'm a street dude, but they don't know the extent of a street dude that I am. You understand what I'm saying?
See, you, like today, you came in here on some smooth shit. Like you always on some smooth fly shit.
Right.
But today you came in here some smooth shit. I expected you to be
sweatsuit.
No, I was like, all right, you gonna cover some shit.
Man.
Let me go see what I got in the closet.
We cut from a different cloth right now,
absolutely.
man. Like we moving on a different strategy, different energy right now, man. I'm vibrating on a higher level.
Absolutely.
But I'm still Cash, still from East New York. That's why I add the BK in front of my name, because I started traveling places, seeing new things, and I never wanted to forget where I came from. You know what I mean? So I added BK Cashmere. But as far as the situation, getting back to your question, like, I just think the streets and the internet don't mix. Like, where I came from, like you say, like the 80s. Like, I was in Cypress in the 80s, right? Projects. Shout out to Cypress Hill. Shout out to everybody in Cypress Hill.
Shout out
BG,
to
the whole East, Plaza, all of that. But we're gonna get back to it. Like, coming up in the 80s, I'm a little kid, like 5, 6 years old, and you seeing what was going on at that time was just bananas.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It was like bananas, like where we was taught how to, like if they start shooting, you get low. You get on the floor. You don't, like, people don't understand that. Like, what we was taught by our OGs back then, we never, that lifestyle was never to be glorified. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
We was taught to hide from the cameras.
Yeah, it was never to be glorified. It was never to be broadcasted. It was never to be like that. And I lived like that to this day. That's why people see me. They don't even know what I'm doing. They just think I'm just chilling, just being me. But you know, behind the scenes, you don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm not doing none of that now. You know what I mean? Like I'm not on the type of time and I was like 5, 6, 7 years ago, 10 years ago or something like that. But like we never glorified it. We never really did that. Like they taught us like we wasn't glorifying none of this. It wasn't to be glorifying. Like they was hustling out of desperation because they needed money.
The money.
They was going on hard times. So if you gonna get a job at McDonald's or you gonna sit in front of this building and make 5 G's a day.
It looks more appealing.
It looks more appealing. But even when it looked more appealing, you still got to do something with the money. And fast money come and fast money go. You know what I mean? So like it's up to what you gonna do with the money and everything. But
you know what's crazy? All the hustlers and shit we know, none of them had smart business management.
Yeah.
They knew how to run a business, and you could tell, even though it was a legal business, they knew how to run a business, but they had no business management. Yeah. There was no real structure. It was just a bunch. Well, everybody was young too.
Yeah, they was young, but then again, you know, you got some people, some that escape, and it's rare. It's rare. But if you're doing the right thing and you got a plan, I believe that with anything, just like with a job, you could succeed and get through things. So, but like I said, like with the situation that you was explaining and you asked about just now, like I feel like the streets and the internet is never supposed to connect. That's why you see everybody getting locked up, everybody getting shot. You know what I mean? They leaving their locations, they doing this, they doing that. All types of stuff is going on because they mixing two things that's like oil and water. It's not gonna stick. You know what I mean? Something bound to happen. You feel what I'm saying?
And today got a significance because today is the anniversary of Nip's passing.
Right.
So when you pick today, I'm like, all right, cool. And then I sat and I said, damn, that's an interesting day. So it wasn't structured for me to start off asking about LA shit.
Right.
It was just, it's just, you know, I just got an unorthodox.
I actually met Nip before.
Oh, were? How was
I met Nip. He was the same dude that y'all see on TV. Yeah. Like the dude was
real
authentic.
Humble.
We was at a car wash. I was in LA. We was at a car wash and he was washing his Benz and he was just chilling. And I hopped out my whip and I pulled up on him like, what's up and everything. We chopped it up. I told him who I was. You know what I mean? Told him who I dealt with in New York as far as the music concerned. And he gave me a number, whatever, however. We hollered at each other. And then maybe 6, 7 months later, that happened to him. I was in LA when that happened to him too. I was like surprised because somebody so prominent.
You wouldn't think it was.
Yeah, I was like I'm getting in my Uber to go out. And the Uber girl which was like a cool little white girl that listened to hip hop, and she like, yo, they just shot Nipsey. And I'm like, the moment that she said that, I was like, who would want to shoot him? He helping everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? He helping everybody out. He's trying to build a dope positive movement. So who would want to shoot him? So it's funny how everything is spiraling,
unraveling
right now.
Yeah, everything is just like, let's see how.
Yeah, but if you from the streets, you already saw it. You already seen a lot of stuff that's going on and everything.
I'm proud of Black Sam keeping everything going.
Oh, Black Sam is another one. Like
He's making sure the marathon continues.
He like another dude that you see he cut from a different cloth.
Yeah,
you
Black
can tell.
Sam different. Yeah.
He ain't talking. He ain't broadcasting. He ain't doing that. And that's what I mean. Like when I made this album, I kind of realized like why I get the type of energy I get. Why I get.
Don't try to answer my questions before. I see what you're doing.
I'm just saying, like, so I see why I get the energy I get, the type of, because I'm cut from a different cloth. You know what I mean? I'm just different.
So my favorite joint, I got 7 favorite songs.
So
I don't know.
So you love the album. You like the album, for real.
I don't have it in no particular order.
I bet.
I'm going to throw the joint, I'm going to throw them out, and you give me the reaction you want to give me from them. Um, Violin music.
Violin music.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite joints on the album. Violin music was basically shout to Dutchy. He a Grammy Award producer actually. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. Congratulations to him too.
Dope.
But my man Quota, he was like I was like he's a dope artist from Harlem. He coming
from
up.
Harlem.
Yeah, he from Harlem. He a dope artist. He coming up. I heard his music. I was like, yo, I love your sound. We gotta get to doing something. And he said, I got this producer. And I said, all right, cool. So he was like, when you want to book the time? I was like, book it now. Let's do it. So he was like, I was like, but is he going to send me the beats? Like this, that, and the third. The man produced the beat like in five. No, actually, he had that beat ready already. The other joint, Abundance, he produced right in front of me.
I like that too.
Yeah,
that's not on my favorite list, but I like that too.
He produced right in front of me, and I was like, man. But the violin music, as soon as I heard it, I was like, yo, we got to do this one. He whipped up a hook to it, and we went off.
So you're gonna see me look down at my phone a few times.
Yeah,
it ain't that I ain't paying attention, but I actually got notes, and I don't usually do notes. I
do
just
your thing, son. We here, man. We here. I like the little get up, man, the no favor gear and all that.
Yeah, you know,
that's what's up.
I got, you know, I stay with the.
Yeah, you know, I don't bore.
I'm tired of music, so
I'm
trying to, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but you always support.
The Brooklyn Apparel. Y'all go check that out too. The Brooklyn Apparel is fire. I'm bought about 2, 3, 4 sweatsuits from you, man. Firework for real.
So, let's see where I want to go. Wish I Had You.
That's a song that's dedicated to my dad who passed away. He got killed actually, and my grandfather who passed away. He caught a heart attack on the highway and everything. So that was like deep because I felt like I had to do that song on this album because I really never expressed myself about those two things, and those was like two real things that really touched me in life, that really hurt me. Like, you know what I mean? I just told you about Nuke. So you could imagine if my dad and my grandfather passed, it was like different. So like when my Wish I Had You was like, you know, basically expressing that, you know what I mean? I wish I had y'all hair. You know what I mean? If I had y'all hair, you know what I mean? They done taught me so much. I done learned so much from them that, you know, I'm just saying like I wish I had them back. You know what I mean? Here.
And you said you the oldest?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Out of your mom's kids?
Out of my mom's kids and my dad's kids.
Oh, and your dad kids.
Yeah.
I see your brother just recently came home.
Yeah, my little brother Mikey.
Oh,
shout out to Mikey.
I thought that was your older brother.
Nah, he just big. You know what I mean? Just a big dude. Yeah.
What else I got? Let's see. I said that one. You Dig.
You Dig.
That sound like a Bay Area kind of hyphy type of record. Was that the direction you was going, or was it just a feeling you had in the studio that day?
Nah, actually, You Dig came about. I was in the studio in Long Island. And I was with shout out to Corva, shout out to my boy Mark. And she just kept Corva, she's like a producer for Corva Music Entertainment. And you know, we was doing some work. We had a little deal that we was working on some work. And it's for them to produce four records for me. And she told me like, yo, you need to get on this beat. And I'm like, this beat? I'm like, this, that, and the third. So when she threw the record on, she was like, I'm telling you, do it. So once I put the headphones in, I just came up with the hook fast, like in 10 seconds. Like I was like, you know, hey man, you know you sexy. You got friends, bring your besties. And it just was like, it just came together, man. Shout out to Mark on the production too.
For 1 second. Don't be shy. Come.
Would you like water, soda, lemonade?
I'll take a water. I probably should have gave that water to this one. Oh, you got more? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll take some alcohol.
Yeah, but that record just, I love that record too. It got a good vibe, nice joint. When it come on, it got people dancing and all that. But You Dig. Yeah, we're going to shoot a video to that this summer too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Henny and Lemonade.
Henny and Lemonade, that's a record produced by DJ The Original. And you know, I it was like so hip hop, but still fun with the vibe. So I was like, when I seen that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get somebody from the hood. Cause if it feel like we just in front of the building chilling, sipping Henny and Lemonade, and it got like a little like just like, you know, project feel. So I got Mitchell Ames on that. Yeah, from the hood on that. You know? I got Mitchell Ames from the hood. Mitchell Ames is a legend from the hood.
Yeah,
Fatal Fountain.
I remember Mitch Ames was signed to Tommy Boy.
Yeah. Tommy Boy Records. I feel like people don't give him his props, so I hit him up, called him to the studio, like, come through. I got something for you to hop on.
Yeah,
and he definitely did his thing on that.
Mitchell Ames is definitely a Cypress legend. So let me say that again, clear. So
East New York legend.
Yeah, East New York legend, but particularly Cypress. Like, you know, if they don't know that's my hood, that Cypress is my hood. Mitchell Ames is definitely a legend. So Mitch got into it online, right? Not a bad thing, because Mitch my dude. We never had no beef.
What you and Mitch arguing about, man?
I posted that it's probably not word for word, but I posted about having one of the best albums, or I might have said the best album out of everybody that dropped in Cypress.
Oh, okay.
You know, Mitch Ames is a competitor anyway.
I mean,
right?
what you want him to say?
So,
what you want him to back?
He said exactly what he was supposed to say.
Oh, okay.
But see, he took it as a shot.
Oh,
and it wasn't, I didn't have anybody in mind. But the people I had in mind didn't respond. That's why I wanted to respond.
He took it personal.
I was looking for a reason to come out of retirement.
Yeah.
But they didn't respond. So Ames was like, yo, what? Cypress, I'm from Cypress too. I'm dope too, whatever. So we were supposed to do a battle with the albums, but it didn't happen because it wasn't it would have been too much to organize in a bunch of unorganizations. So it didn't happen. But for the record, it wasn't no, you know, me and Mitch Ames got beef. It was just,
I wouldn't think that.
You know, everybody's supposed to feel like
everybody's supposed to feel. I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like that's what's missing in hip hop right now. Everybody want to be buddy, friend. Hip hop is created from New York, first and foremost. And we come from the likes of Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie. I'm gonna even throw Pac in there, Mobb Deep. So many great MCs where we competed against each other. We didn't
take it.
Everybody want to be friends and everybody. And I feel like we're really messed up the game that everybody want to take things personally. You know what I mean? If you diss me, since they can't rap better than you, they want to take shit to the streets. I mean, if you can't rap, then you know what I mean. Stay in your lane. If you a A B C D E F G type of guy, stay in your lane. But this is hip hop, man. I think we need to get back to the elements, not to take nothing from what's going on today. You know what I mean, from everybody, because I feel like if you feel you could do it, do it. You know what I mean. I ain't gonna knock nobody hustle, but at the end of the day, I think we need to get back to some real music, some thorough music. We need to start cutting a lot of this cookie cutter stuff out and start getting to stuff like Cut from a Different Cloth, Victory Lap, like real music. Like get back to teaching these stuff that these kids can learn when they go outside. They could be on point, because a lot of stuff that's happening today is kind of silly. So I think the competitiveness in hip hop definitely need to come back. Definitely. I think it'll bring an edge back to hip hop too. It wouldn't be so fly.
Drake and
oh
Kendrick.
yeah, I'm with that.
All right.
That's what's up. Like I think, and I'm a Drake fan. I'm a Kendrick fan.
Yeah.
But
I'm a Drake fan.
You're a Drake fan. I'm a Drake fan. I'm a Kendrick fan. I'm not, I listen to more Drake than Kendrick, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, me being a hip hop head, being from the essence, being from, knowing and learning and studying this hip hop stuff, I knew that Kendrick was going.
Have an argument.
I knew that Kendrick was going to cut his head off, man. I knew it. I thought
as far as the essence. As far as the hip hop battling and
just as far as the battle, I think like you look at the song. What's the song he said? When he talked about Drake family, Meet the Grams.
It was so many records.
Yeah, like Meet the Grams.
Dope.
That Meet the Grams record is just crazy. And then he did what everybody thought he wasn't going to do, and he dropped Not Like Us, because he's not used to dropping party records. So when he did that, everybody just started waving the flag. So I think it was a dope battle, and I think like in the beginning, Drake really, really, really had him on the ropes. Yeah. But I knew he was going to come. You know how I looked at this battle? I looked at it when Jay-Z did Takeover, and everybody was counting Nas out. I always knew Nas was going to come and cut Jay-Z head off. Always.
You think Ether was...
Boy, come on, bro. Don't do this. Don't do this,
right,
bro.
Ether,
I'm a Brooklyn Knight, but Ether surgically... he did surgery on Jay a little bit.
Anyway, another East New York legend you had on your joint was Danique.
Oh, Danique, yeah.
Danique.
I remember Danique from when I was like the hottest thing in the streets. Danique came and knocked on my door, and he was like, yo, we got to get something going. Like, what's up, man? Like, I rap, I do my thing. And, to see him grow, to see him grow to what he doing today, you know what I mean? Being a Muslim at that and still staying conscious and still spitting that stuff. I had a song called The Gospel, and I had to throw him on. And his verse, I think that's probably like the best verse on the album. And it's my album, Like when you listen to his verse was crazy, man.
He didn't disappoint.
Right.
He didn't disappoint. I'm so critical of lyrics.
Right.
I would, before I made that statement, I would have to go back and break it down.
Yeah.
To hear it, because I heard a lot of dope verses.
Yeah, So violent music versus crazy.
I would have to take it to first off, I would have to eliminate you out the process.
Right.
I would have to sit and listen to all the feature verses again, and then be like, all right, that was crazy, because I'm not looking at it for y'all to be
going against each other. Yeah.
So I would have to listen to every feature on the album. Yeah. But wait a minute.
God.
No. See, with music is so funny, because for me, sometimes I can't pit certain rappers against each other because it's not the same style.
Right.
So I find a problem with that. Mm-hmm. Like when people say Jay-Z and Nas, I'm like, it's two different styles that don't really...
Two different styles, but two killer MCs.
Okay. 2-1.
21. Ooh.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
I just
he listening to his verse.
His verse was tough.
Made me a fan.
Tough. 2-1's always been on my he you know what? 2-1's remind me a little bit of Stack Bundles. That's what I always liked about him. And Stack, rest in peace to Stack. Me and Stack Bundles was cool. And I was just like, actually 2-1's called me to the studio. He wanted to do a joint. I wanted to throw him on the album. We looked for a joint, so I chose that joint, which was In My Hood. You know what I mean? It's a fire joint. We're gonna shoot a video to that. And
dope.
We threw him. We talked about everything in our hood. You know what I mean? He from the boulevard, I'm from the other side. So we just attacked it, and I think he did a dope job on that joint.
Did a
Like
good job.
he murdered that. I think all the features was so well put together. That was the really what took the album so long to come out. Cause this is like my first album where I had like I got about 8-9 features on it. And I never all my other albums never really had features like that, man.
That's why I was shocked that it was so many features. But it's features that make sense.
Yeah, it fit. I made sure of that.
Fit.
That I made sure of. Like it had to fit.
And see,
if you wasn't fitting with the record, like Henny and Lemonade, Mitchell Ames. You know, Mitchell Ames was with that. You know what I mean? Like you hear what he talking, black. You know what I mean? All of that. You know what I mean? Like, so it was dope. The features fit everything, man.
Yeah, it fit. So I'm like, all right, this sounds good. This sounds good. Okay, I like this. Okay, this sounds good. This sounds good. So it didn't take away from the project.
Right.
Because a lot of times
people get features.
People get features and then they get smashed on the features. And I'm like, I don't want to hear you no more. I want to hear
that. So, but see, I'm gonna do me regardless. Like that's why the album is called Cut from a Different Cloth, because I'm in my own lane. I'm not trying to do what this. I'm not trying to follow the fad. I'm not trying to do what the next person is doing. I'm not trying to blend in with what's going on in hip hop today. I'm just doing Cash. You know what I mean? I'm doing Cash. I'm always going to do Cash. And every time you hear Cash, you're going to hear me go to something new that got something to do with Cash. And I'm going to bring something new to the game every time you hear me. You know what I mean? That's my goal. Every time I make a project, that's why you don't hear me throw out stuff. Just throw out. Because I take pride in what my fans listen to. And, you know, I know what they like at this point. So when I do a project, I want to bring them a new me. I want to bring them up to date to where I'm at today. And I want to give them something new, fresh and new, that to where they be like, oh, all right, he doing this now, and that's what's up. So that's why, you know, we went from resilience to me being resilient, explaining all the struggle and everything I had to go through in this game, and to get to where I'm at today to, I'm all right now. We cut from a different cloth. So, you know what I mean?
You recently, well, before I say this, let's say, if it's something that's still pending, then I don't want to get into it.
Nah, we here to talk about it.
We not getting indicted in hotline.
We here to talk about it.
I know you recently had an issue. And it kind of caught me by surprise because I think I had just talked to you like 2 days before. And then next thing you know,
I was actually just at the basketball game. You know what I mean? I was just at the basketball game with my brother. You know what I mean? Chef G and all of them was there. Like, it was just crazy. So the incident was crazy. But go ahead, ask your question.
No, that was my question.
What happened?
What the fuck happened that, like, I mean, I know everything happened in the blink of an eye, but what the fuck was going on? Because I'm like, yo, I just talked to him the other day. Like,
and y'all know my steez. I stay out the way. You know what I mean? So y'all like surprised that I was even involved. You like, huh?
I'm like,
Dad.
I'm like, maybe it's somebody else shit and he just was there.
Yeah, nah. It was my shit. You know what I mean? But I can't speak about it until probably like September. Like directly, I could speak about it, but directly it could probably, you know, hurt me. I don't want to do that.
Nah,
this
so
your
we don't
podcast.
want to talk about it.
But nah, we could talk about it. It's basically just gotten to a situation to where jealousy. It was a jealous situation with somebody that tried to get back at me because I wasn't moving the way they wanted me to move. Okay. And, you know, I got into trouble in a bad state, you know what I mean? Okay. In Massachusetts. And, you know how they do you out there. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
they like Pennsylvania.
Bro, they worse than Pennsylvania.
Man.
It's like, you know, them crackers up there is tripping. Like you wouldn't even imagine how they got people out there. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, they accepting this. Like, you know, our young black men is accepting this. They locked up for literally nothing. Not all. Not going. You know, I'm not.
But you know
all,
what?
but
You know what I see a lot too. A lot of people is just broke and don't have it.
But sometimes it's not even that you broke. See, you could be.
It'd be a lot of dudes in jail that can't afford
proper
bail money.
You know, I
saying?
wasn't one of them people, but thank God, fortunately. But it take knowledge. When you got knowledge and wisdom, with forth come understanding, and
Absolutely.
when you got knowledge and wisdom, with forth come blessings, and you could pull something out the hat. And I think that, you know, a lot of people really don't know it. They not in tune with their higher self. A lot of people is in tune with this worldliness. So you got to really like get in tune with who you are so you could get out of situations and stuff like that. My situation wasn't that serious that I didn't think that I was going to get out of, but they definitely was trying to railroad me for no reason and try to give me 2 years, a year and a half for literally nothing.
So you still going to court?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I took a plea because if I didn't take a plea, they was going to have me up in there for 4 or 5 more months. And I was like, you know, so I took a plea because I had a lot of things to do. You know what I mean? My daughter just got accepted to college, Georgia State.
Congratulations.
You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, I gotta get out of here. I'm not really looking, you know, I praise God. I don't praise the justice system. I don't praise none of this. Like I praise God. So when I felt like I'm not trying to get justice out of an injustice system. You understand what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring me my own justice. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do what y'all ask of me, and I'm gonna still do what I do so I could prosper and keep moving on how I move on. I don't need no validation from nobody out here, especially the justice system.
I could say you didn't miss a beat because as quick as you came home, I heard
that God did freestyle.
Yeah, I heard that, and I heard the joint with the guy. I think he's from Poland.
Oh yeah. Poland the BK, yeah.
Oh, while we speaking about that, I definitely got to give you a shout out and say I appreciate you because you actually put me in my first documentary.
Yeah, that documentary did some numbers too, man.
Yeah,
what was up to about 400,000 or 500,000, something like that.
It was the numbers was nice. I was like, oh, all right. I said, people see me. They see fire.
I love to show love to the hood, man. I love my hood. You know, I think that you know my hood should be on my back. I think like I'm the representative of East New York. Like worldwide, they call me Mr. East New York. So like, cause I done, you know, from Peter Santinello, shout out to Peter, shout out to Mr. Tripper, shout out to Hekalism, shout out to Cash Vlogger, all of these vlogs that's doing millions of views. It kind of reinvented me to be able to put out albums and, you know, everybody just, I was surprised that I could just walk around my hood and just get 5 million views just off of me, my personality, off of just me being who I am. So that kind of surprised me and just took me to a whole nother level. And it's also, you know what I mean, opened up a lot of other doors to where like now, like I want to do a show on my YouTube. You know what I mean? I want people they want more of me. They asking like, yo, we want to see you and your own, you know what I mean, habitat.
You interact with your audience a lot.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gonna lie, I thought we would have been on live right now. So
we should though. I should be on live. Yeah, let me go on live. I'm gonna go on live, man.
Like I know that you have a fan base.
Yeah.
I know you have a solid fan base, and I know
solid one. And
I know you interact with your fans.
Yeah, man.
So I wasn't against that.
Right.
Usually I'll be like, nah, fuck that. You can't go live or do. But I don't mind. You get what I'm saying? Like I want you. When you come here, even though we friends and we know each other, I don't want you to feel like I'm half-assing your interview or I'm,
man.
We talk. I purposely didn't call you and shit because I wanted.
Yeah, you called me out the blue. You just popped up. I was like, all right. You was like, you ready? I
see what you're doing. So I wanted to make sure my timing was perfect.
Right.
I said, all right, I'm out. I know you about to start doing your runs. I said,
Yeah.
first of all, I got to find out if he in New York before I start talking shit. So once I hit you, I'm like, all right, the timing just lined up, and I just wanted to make sure that I was able to be a support of you.
Right.
I didn't want it to be, because a lot of times people will support you behind closed doors and not support you in public. And I just wanted to make it known that I support you in public as well as, behind closed doors.
Right.
And East New York got to stick together.
Yeah, we definitely
Feel
do.
what I'm saying?
We definitely do. But I mean, us as black people, we got like sort of a crab in a barrel mentality. I ain't even gonna dumb down on that because it's just the truth. But we do got good brothers that do support each other and that look out and stuff like that. And from the hood too, you one of them. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? Shout out to Flo moving forward podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dude Flo, because my man Flo came from like, you know what I mean? Like he really resilient too. So shout out to Flo, man. Like I love to see where he grew and now where he going now. So shout out to Flo on that.
Yeah.
On that. You know what I mean? I should be on that podcast soon too. So y'all check us out and get to it, man.
Definitely shout out to Flo.
Yeah.
Moving Forward podcast. Actually, it's because of him that I do podcasts.
Yeah.
I
seen he pulled you out. He pulled you out the woodwork.
And he get on me all the time. He like, yo, bro, you gotta come out. You gotta do this. You gotta do. He like, yo, bro, you too laid back.
That's what he told you?
Yeah, and
you are though, side, and you be outside, but that's
just
you.
Me,
that's you.
Because I'm outside, everybody don't got to see me outside.
Yeah,
I like to be outside, but I like to be in the dark.
That's me too. Like people be wanting you to stick out your chest, be this fake tough guy. I don't even know what's tough. I don't even know what's tough to these dudes no more. You know what I mean?
And see, the thing is, people, people don't really know me. So
they know you, but they don't know you. That's the same thing with me.
Yeah, but a lot of things they don't
think
know.
They know you. They have no idea. Like I was on the phone. I'm gonna tell you a story. I was on the phone where somebody called me and they had some younger dudes that was from the hood that was in the back. I ain't gonna tell you who called me, but I'll tell you off joint. You know what I mean? And the younger dudes from the hood was like, we keep hearing about this dude. Like, who is he? Now the dude that was an older dude from the hood, he like, nah, son from the building, from 485. His father used to live there. Yo, it's like this, it's like that. Like, for real. Like, oh, but son ain't doing this. He ain't doing no that. He ain't doing no that. Not knowing at the time, everybody around you is hollering at me. But that's how it's supposed to be.
How it's supposed to be.
You understand what I'm saying? And when I heard that, like the average person, they get mad at that. But when I heard that, you know what I said? I said, you doing the right thing. They don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't even know.
Bro.
You know what I mean? And that's how you know you moving right. You're off the radar. You even off the radar from the bottom where you at. So
can't put it together. And most people don't know I do music.
Yeah.
Most
I didn't
people
even
don't
know
I do clothes.
I didn't even know, but I know you do clothes. Like
so
but as soon as I seen some of the joints I called, like, yo, bro, let me get like two of them things.
people be sleeping. And I'm like, people be talking shit, and I'm like, yo, have you ever heard my album?
I really never heard a lot of your music. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not gonna say I didn't want to be a rapper.
Yeah, but you was connected to a lot of rappers, Bo and Villain.
Right.
But
MOP
and what's going like,
Smith and Wesson.
Question now.
Well, the entire boot camp.
Yeah, the entire.
You were Biggie.
You was down with the low.
No, I was actually Decepticon.
Oh yeah. Damn, you was a.
This not me. This not about me. But the list goes on and on. Sean, MOP, Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler.
You was rocking with Sean?
Christ. Yeah, we all grew up together. I grew up with all these dudes I grew up with. So these are my friends.
Right.
They didn't even know I rap because I wanted people to hear my raps and just say, yo, this is dope or this is I was the Ghostface before Ghostface, bro.
But you know what?
And plus, I took a backseat for Bo and Villa to do what they was doing.
Shout out to Bo and Villa, one of the first
I felt like they was
doing
more marketable than I was. So the plan was Bo and Villa, Flow and Low. Again, shout out to Moving Forward podcast. Flow and Low. I forgot what Flow and Low name was. It was Flow and Low. It was
so what had you
Tommy Heaters and No, my bad. It was Tommy Heaters and Low that was partners. It was Flow and I believe Nut that was partners. It was Ness. Shout out to my guy Ness.
Shout out
it was
to
Ness and his brother.
Ness. I didn't even know Ness rap.
Ness rap too. Ness
shout out to Ness, man. Ness was always a cool dude.
And then it was me. But I didn't want people to know I rap because people always looked at me as the security or the, yo, that's the nigga behind us. These the rappers, but that's the nigga behind the scenes.
Right.
So I figured they was more marketable than me. And once they did what they were supposed to do, then I come after. Because I never liked being in front of. I'm from that. Don't take pictures. Don't. Yeah. So even now, people be like, "Yo, why you ain't?"
That's why I'm like, it's like now, till this day, like I really didn't do like a lot of interviews and stuff like that because like I really was outside, like you know what I mean, starting off with manhood. It was like we started off really getting street money. Like, like we in our studio and I got $100,000 around me. You know what I mean? And we ain't want for nothing. We getting money for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like we really
in those days, that was the way.
Yeah.
That was the way. So I didn't mean to interrupt you because I know sometimes you'll say
the conversation is conversation. I'm ready. Like right now, that's why I just said what I could talk about it now because I'm not involved in nothing.
Yeah, statute of limitations.
Everything is up. Like, you know what I mean? Like I hung out with the worlds. I hung out with the nuts.
We supposed to be
we gotta tell our story.
Now we gotta tell our story.
But at the end of the day,
when the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I hung around all of these dudes. You know what I mean? The worlds, the nuts, the hoods, the mans, the Ross sons. You know what I mean? Me and Glaze speak, and I know how people might feel about Glaze, but we speak. You know what I mean? Yeah, I already know the vibes. That's just
that's he from my hood, but let me say this let me say this while we on camera.
Yeah.
Because I get into a lot of arguments about this.
Yeah, me too. Cause I did an interview with Glaze and people was like, yo, like when I came to the front, they like, yo, why are you doing it? And I'm like, yo, listen.
I don't condone snitching.
I don't either.
Right? But at the same time, as a grown man now, I understand the streets is not for everybody.
But still, once you take that, my
thing is this: if you in it, you in it.
Yeah.
Do whatever crimes you committed, do your fucking time. Don't be we caught ass nigga. I don't like those type of
now. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead with it. The streets is dead. You know what I mean?
The streets is a myth. That's the myth. One thing I give Troy out.
Yeah, the streets is dead. But I still live by street code.
No, I definitely
because the street codes, like, I realized the street codes is still got
It's still in
similar.
effect.
Yeah, it's still in
Still in
effect,
effect.
and it's
it's
similar.
part of the industry.
The street codes is similar to spiritual codes. It's similar to Bible codes.
It's
You know what I mean?
it's
And I'm
part
not
of
talking
life
about
codes.
it's part of life codes. And I'm not talking about it's just you standing up and being a man on your own too.
Mhm.
That's all it's really about. And if you make certain decisions or certain bad moves, then you're
Stand
gonna
by
have to stand on that.
Stand by
You know what I mean? That's why I move alone. Because I know what the streets is really is, and you can't give too much access to where people could snitch on you, or people could tell your business, or people could put you in certain predicaments or situations that you're not supposed to be in. So I move accordingly. Like I move like a snake in the grass.
You move
Yeah,
in the shadows.
In the
As
shadows.
we should.
Yeah, I move like a ghost. So
Because
you know,
we was taught that.
we was taught
That's
that.
the difference.
But
between
nowadays they not being taught that. Ain't no OGs nowadays. You know what I mean?
the
And
OGs is YNs.
Yeah. But the
So-
YNs don't want to listen to the OG.
And that's why
We had to listen to our
that
OG.
we get our ass whooped.
Yeah, we
couldn't
had
come on
to
the
listen
block.
to our OG.
It was consequences.
You know
for
what I
us.
mean? Like for real. Like
Yeah.
you had to.
We couldn't come on the block. We couldn't get no money.
Mhm.
We couldn't go to whatever function they was throwing.
Yeah.
It was some kind of consequence. Even though we was in the street doing wrong,
Yeah.
it
was morals and principles, and it had
right.
character involved in it because
So-
everybody couldn't do it. Like I be in front of the building hustling, and you know, like, and the older ladies know or whatever, but I'm carrying their bags, taking it upstairs to their apartment for them.
Bro,
I'm doing extracurricular activities so
And
they would let me
nowadays-
chill in the building how I'm
Right.
supposed to. You know what I mean?
And
So
nowadays, bro, we would. Well, statute of limitations is up. We would have shootouts, but before the shootout, we'd
Yeah.
tell them, "Yo, go upstairs."
I
And they
remember in
knew.
Cyprus when it was shootouts, certain people that I know, I'm not gonna say their name, they'll tell my moms, yo, listen, don't bring them around here. It's going down tonight. You understand? Don't bring them around here. It's going down tonight. I've been in listen, man.
But-
Shootouts to where the lights is cut off and they
Yo.
shooting at each other in the
Yeah.
dark. You remember
had
the
to-
light joints
you had
come
to
off and they
remember,
shooting at each other in the
like,
dark.
if you ain't had that certain call, you better not walk through
You
there.
better not walk through there.
You know what I'm saying?
You
And
couldn't
it's-
walk through there. It was a point where my father told my mother, don't bring them around here no more. That's when I stopped hanging in Cyprus.
It was
Because from like 12, 13, 14, because my father was like, told my mom, was like, yo, it's crazy around here. Like,
Right.
don't bring them around here.
and I see. Funny how time flies because now I look around at the people that I was hearing about that done did 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
Talking about King Tut, welcome home.
King Tut, welcome home.
Talking about Drac.
Drac, welcome
Welcome
home.
home.
Yeah. I just was with Drac. We was just with
Rick
Drac
Martin.
at
Yeah,
one bar.
well, make sure he see this because
Nah, for real.
he see me and I understand.
Shout out to Drac.
I was
man.
too young.
Me, him,
for
and we
him
was
to
in
know
one
who
bar
I am.
together. Yeah, we was just
You get what
chilling.
I'm saying? And I know who he is.
Mhm.
I don't
Rest in-
have a connection with him
Uh-huh.
to just
You
walk
need
up
that
to him and
interview.
speak.
You might need that
But
interview. 'Cause
I don't-
people is
see, I
lacking.
don't know
people
him.
ain't getting that interview. And
But I don't know him.
Yeah.
I know Tank. Tank is my big
Tank
big bro.
Tank.
Tank
Shout
my
out to
OG.
Tank. Shout out to Tank, my OG too.
Rick Martin.
Rick
That's
Martin.
my OG.
Rick Martin.
So that's another guy. Welcome home. It's so many people that I'm connected to that's connected to these other people.
Yeah.
And they look at me, especially with this beard,
Yeah.
they don't put it together that I'm the same person.
Right.
Or I'm from their side. So when they see me, they're like, I don't know this nigga.
Right.
And I don't really care
But you
to
quiet though, bro.
bro, that's me. But
Yeah.
I don't. My thing is when I'm quiet, that's a good thing. When you
Me-
hear me, it's a problem.
I be quiet, but everybody know me from being Cashmere. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like this internet world
I try to tell
and
people
take me to a whole nother
I ain't
level.
from the internet, and I
Yeah.
don't know how. I'm trying to learn how to be socially friendly because I'm just like.
I mean,
From what we from, bro, we just don't. Our tolerance is really low.
Yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's why it's hard for me to like that's why I said like right now I'm just beginning to like tell my story. That's why I'm like the album name is cut from a different
Well,
cloth.
I definitely
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
you telling your story.
Yeah, man.
And I wanted to make sure that you knew that I support you.
For sure.
And I wanted to make sure you knew that I actually listened to the album.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, nah, fuck that. Let me write all my favorite songs down because I know
Yeah,
you're gonna
for
be like,
sure,
yo, what's
man.
your favorite?
Nah, you got it down pat.
And I wanted to get into the documentaries because
All right.
I see you do a lot of documentaries
Yeah.
with overseas people.
Yeah.
And which is a good thing. I think
great thing.
I think that's smart marketing.
Yeah.
Because that opens you up to
Yeah.
a land overseas. And overseas is actually where the money at.
Oh man.
And
Tell me about it. You know how many
your
verses I
style
got
is-
paid? People done paid me for verses overseas. Shout
Not
out to
only that,
overseas. Shout
your
out to Poland,
style is
Europe, everything.
perfect for overseas.
Yeah, for sure.
Because overseas love hip hop.
Yeah.
They appreciate hip hop. And you have this, I won't call you a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you are a rapper.
Rapper.
I won't call you a rapper.
I'm more of an artist.
You more of a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
When I listen to your style, it's like you were supposed to be mixed in with the Big Daddy Kane, Craig G's, Melly Mel. Like it's like when somebody
I studied the essence, man.
Right.
I study what this thing is really about.
You can hear it in your style, but
Yeah.
not only when you hear it, most of your visuals, either online or offline, you have a 80s type look.
Yeah.
80s dope boy era, the BBSs and all that. So I expected you to come today with a bucket hat on.
Yeah.
Looking 80-ish.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And I see you
We're a
came
little
in today. in your
snazzy
grown
today, man. I
shit.
got on my Ta Chung shades, man. Shout out to Ta Chung. You know what I mean? I told him I was gonna wear them once I get a little snazzy. So shout out to him. But yeah, man, we kind of switching it up. We feeling good. Life is good. I'm just trying to elevate, bro. Like elevate and inspire. That's all I'm trying to do, bro. Right now, I feel like I'm in my bag and I got a lot of blessings. I'm living abundantly. I'm taking care of my responsibilities. And I feel like, a lot of people be like, yo, Cash, why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? Why you don't do this? And it's like, because I'm trying to do this and do that. Like that's there if I want to do it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But I'm trying to do this and do that. I'm really trying to move to a higher level that y'all don't see. And I just don't live like the average person. You know what I mean? Like I don't live like the average person. I never live normal. You know what I mean? Like it's times that I didn't think that I would like, even as a kid, like you be 14, you want to get in this game. And I didn't think that I was gonna be on Hot 97 every day at the level that I didn't think that DJ K Slay would take me under as an artist. I didn't think that I'd be flying to Japan. I didn't think I'd be flying to Africa. This is all for who I am. This is all for music. You don't think like I'm not booking flights to go on vacation. This is people hitting me up like, yo, like I didn't, as a 14-year-old kid, yeah, you dream it, but then when it start happening, you like, it's mind blowing. Yeah, it's like, whoa, like you on a flight, you know what I mean? Room me and they giving you what you want and stuff like that. And you just like, wow, like you just gotta bask in the moment and enjoy the moment. And what I do most importantly is learn from the moment. I try to elevate myself to learn from everything I've been through, because I think traveling out the country changed my life, because it helped me see different cultures.
Right.
It helped me see different people, and it let me know like where I'm from ain't the end all be all. You understand what I'm saying? So that like really changed my life for real, for real.
It's crazy that some people never leave they block.
Yeah, so that's all they know.
Or 4-block radius.
Yeah, that's all they know.
Swear they the realest nigga in the world.
Yeah, but it's not even about being real. Like me myself, real or being gangster is living how you want to live, being yourself.
Absolutely.
If you ain't being yourself, how gangster are you? We
But
don't
see,
even know you.
We don't get to learn that until we're about 25, 30.
Yeah.
These dudes nowadays, the YNs, they don't get to see that age.
Yeah, man.
So they live for the moment.
Yeah.
And matter of fact,
What you mean by they live by the moment though?
they live for the moment. Like drill music came out, they shot 1,000 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Now is what they call it, R&B drill, or I forgot what the new name of this shit is now. But now it's like, all right.
I like some drill artists.
I want to dance with Shorty, but I still shoot you after the song go off with Shorty. So
that's why I see the thing, like you look at New York, like in the clubs, like when I used to go to the clubs, we used to be in the clubs and really get it in. It was a vibe.
It wasn't no vibe. We was knocking niggas out by the end of the night, bro.
Yeah, but I'm like, if you go to Cheetahs,
no, it was different. We did dance with girls.
Yeah, it was a vibe. But nowadays is real. It's kind of crazy.
Gay.
It's kind of crazy.
Hey, all the guys.
I mean, we in 2025, so you're gonna get the LGBTQ community.
Listen,
and shout out to the LB. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Yeah,
But my thing is something wrong when we go to the club to impress our homeboys instead of impressing a female.
Oh, for sure.
I see something wrong with somewhere along the lines.
Yeah,
chick got
sure.
fucked up.
I mean,
because I thought we was getting everything we did was for the opposite sex. And now it's like everything we do is for a like.
Me
on the
personally,
gram
like I started to go in the club. Like World actually got me in my first club, Club Envy.
Shout out to World.
Yeah, free World, man. And I've been through a lot of shit with World. A lot of shit.
World is a good dude if you know him.
I know him. And
very serious dude.
Very serious.
Very serious dude.
Very serious. Actually, World helped get me into the industry. You know what I mean? Shout to Hood. You know what I mean? I'm never going Hood believe in me.
So World was the connect to Hood, man.
Nah, Hood always, Kai was my man. And Hood, Kai said, Hood was locked up at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a young kid, 18, 19 years old. I'm just hot in the hood. You know what I mean? I'm freestyling, battling niggas, roasting them and stuff like that. But, you know, Kai told me, like, when Hood come home, we gonna get to it. Me and Kai used to be in Brownsville, Market Garvey Project, recording in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like all that.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Seen a raid they just did on MGV?
Nah, I didn't even see it. I don't even know about it.
Fez just anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we did that when Hood came home. You know what I mean? Hood just kind of, you know, he from the style. He kind of knew all of that area over there, LG, Marcy, all of that. So Hood believed in me wholeheartedly. Like the dude, like he seen it wasn't much not to believe in. Don't get it twisted.
You had a buzz already.
At the yeah. As far as the Hood, I was the new up and coming dude. Like Puzz even was coming to Mel Bars, your barbershop. Shout out to Puzz. Puzz used to come in the barbershop like, yo, who this Cashmere dude?
Yeah, I just
and I was like I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was 18, 19. They used to come to the barbershop like, yo, who this dude? Puzz came like, yo, what you want to do? He had Bowen Villa at the time.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, what you trying to do with your shit and all that? I was like, and I waited till Hood came home and me, Hood, and Kai, and rest in peace, Hank. We just went crazy. Like Hood had a plan. He had Man came home after Hood, and we just hit the streets, got some money, and we just believed in everything that we was doing, and they really believed in me, like, cause it take a lot for somebody to really believe in you. You know what I mean? Like Hood, I had got shot in the Hood. Yeah, I had got shot. We had beef, the projects, whatever. We didn't get too deep into that.
All our projects.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, we got into a shootout. I got shot. I was you know what I mean? I couldn't walk for like 6 months, but I went down south with my father. Me and my father started my own record label. We was on the radio out down south and all of that. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to my pops. He definitely held me down during that time. And Hood drove out to South Carolina.
Mhm.
It was like, yo, man, it's time for you to come back. You gotta come back. We good. We get money. And I'm like, I don't know, man. But I came back to New York and we just hit the ground running. We met up with K Slay. Rest in peace, K Slay.
Rest
K
in
Slay.
peace.
Rest
Super
in peace.
legend.
Rest in peace, K Slay. Because
Word.
without Slay, I don't even think y'all would be hearing me on this podcast right now. Because Slay was like everything. Slay was like the epitome of hip hop.
Slay
Like, for
was
real. He was the gatekeeper to the
they
underground.
called a lot of people the plugs.
Nah,
If
Slay was the
people
plug.
was the plugs, Slay was the outlet.
The outlet, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And
Slay was like, man, like I met up with Slay. We met up in Harlem,
mhm.
and we met up in Harlem. Me and him and Hud. Hud was telling him about me. I guess he heard about me or whatever. So we met up, and Slay was like, all right, we gonna run with him. And this was like before Paps and all that. And Slay was like, yo, we gonna run with him. And Slay just ran with me, playing my record first every night, Thursday night, like, you know what I mean, blasting it, playing it back, just going crazy. Rest in peace to K Slay, man, for
Definitely,
real, man.
rest in peace.
For real.
I remember when I first seen you on the Smack DVD. I'm watching it, and you came up, and I'm like, I know this little motherfucker.
I was a little slim, scrawny motherfucker.
I'm like, I know this little motherfucker that's singing too.
Yeah. He from Brownsville. He from around
from
where
the
you
Ville.
at.
Yeah.
He from Brownsville.
I said,
You know something
Okay.
happened in the hood with Razor too when they, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna get too
No, I
deep
didn't.
in that. You know what I
I-
mean? That was
I
crazy.
was wondering what went on
That
with
shit was
Razor,
crazy.
but I'm like,
But Razor, shout out to Razor, man. Razor's still doing his thing.
Word.
He
Oh, he is?
yeah, he's still doing his
That's
thing.
what's up.
Actually, I wanna I wanna get I told him like we need to do a mixtape together and everything.
well, if you still got contact with him, or
want that interview, that'd be
tell him,
dope.
I would love to have him.
Nah,
on,
I
man.
definitely speak to Razor. I don't know if y'all heard the Feel So Good song, all of that, the joint. You know, Razor had a joint with Rihanna.
Razor,
Before Rihanna was Rihanna, you know what I mean?
Razor was fucking scorching.
He was fire. He was on
He
fire.
was scorching. I remember all this shit.
He was on
I
fire.
remember, like I was saying, you, Murder probably had a freestyle or something. Gravy, News,
Yeah.
Red Cafe, Shay Davis.
Shay David.
Actually, who you got on the album too?
Yeah, what you talking about? Shout out to Shay. We shooting a video to that too. Shout out
word?
to Shay. Shay, my
Yo,
guy.
Shay Davis.
Shay, my guy. I remember Shay
has so much personality, bro.
Oh man,
I
Shay,
think,
my dude. We speak to each other just this day. You know, Drake shouted him out not too long ago too.
Oh, word?
Yeah, Drake shouted
Yo.
Shay out with the Smack DVD.
I
shit and all
seen,
that. Yeah.
I seen,
Shout out to Shay Davis for real.
I seen Shay talking about how Lil Durk and them took the OTF.
Took the OTF,
shit.
yeah.
Yo, and I was like, yo, you
But he
got
been
point.
only the
because
family. He started the only
Shay
the family.
Davis
joint.
been out for a long. This is Shay Davis. My gun go black.
Yeah,
I remember all that.
Shay was a
So-
Smack DVD legend. Shout out to Smack too,
Shout
because
out to
Smack
Smack.
took us. Smack took us like I
Yeah.
remember when I first got on Smack. I went down south to go see my son and I was in a cab and the cab driver couldn't believe that I was in his cab. He was like, "Yo, we was just looking
seen
at
you
you
on
in the
Smack.
barbershop.
Yeah.
Oh my God, wait till I tell niggas that you in my cab." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Man, if you gonna drop me off," I mean, like, but Smack opened us to a whole worldwide. Smack was the internet before the internet.
Before the internet, yeah.
Smack was the internet.
he-
Shout out to Fendi too.
Because-
the
yeah,
Come
Big
Up
Fendi,
DVD.
yeah,
The Come Up
yeah,
DVD. Shout out to
Come Up.
Arliss Michaels.
Arliss.
A Real Talk DVD. Like these dudes, like I was in front of these dudes put me on covers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
This is
it was like we was major. Like
it was
you know what I mean?
bigger.
So y'all do y'all history on me. Google me and know what we really doing
Because
out here.
I don't. That's another thing when you an independent artist,
Mm-hmm.
it's harder to find your music if a person don't know you
Yeah.
or if a person never heard of you
Yeah.
or simple things like you changed your name from Cashmere to BK Cashmere.
Right.
So some people are
that
still
kind
looking
of changed things. People thinking for Cashmere.
Right.
But you know what I mean? I'm gonna let a cat out the bag that I shouldn't, but I am. Like, you know what I mean? We might be going major, man. We might be going major soon. Like, we might be doing the Mass Appeal thing. So y'all stay in tune, man. Like,
So-
I'm working. We working. Like
Alright.
we might be
That's
might
one
be
of the
cashing out a
questions I
big
had.
check. Yeah. We might be cashing out a nice little check soon.
Being
You know
that
what
you've
I mean?
been independent
Cause
for
I'm
for
so long. Go ahead. I know what you about to ask, but go ahead.
I always wondered if you had something against the majors or if you like the freedom of independence better.
I love the freedom of independence. But like right now, I'm like, if we could make it make sense and we could still, I could be me, then let's do it. And right now, like I'm about to go sit down and holler at a few people that reached out, that heard the album and that's really
Wow.
interested. And
Let them know.
I'm finally like, it took a while to get here, bro. It wasn't an easy road. You know what I mean?
But you
Like I had
kept
to
working.
I kept working.
Kept working.
I'm going to work.
Like I said,
you know what I mean? It's cash. Like
if you didn't think about it,
Yeah.
it's 20 years. I tried so hard
20.
to find the exact date,
yeah.
but I couldn't.
Yeah.
But this year marks
20.
20
Because that was
years.
2005 when I
2000
first got on it. That was the second time I got on Smack DVD though. The first time was the You Owe It To Me record and the Stay Out My Zone produced by the Heatmakers.
If I know what you had on, I can tell you more.
Mano actually was in that. That's when Mano was like, just came home around that time. But the second time, that's when I was like on fire. Over was out. Green Land, where I was like
I
on
seen
fire.
that. I seen
yeah.
I think that's the one I seen first.
Yeah.
That's the one on the roof.
Yeah.
And then in front of the store.
No, that's the one.
Or am I
The one in
mixing
front of the
videos
store, you
together?
mixing them. The one in front of the store is the first smack.
Okay.
The second smack was like a year later.
Okay.
That was the one when I was on the roof, and then we went downstairs in front of the building by Fanfare and all that. So
I remember, bro. I remember all that,
and that's the joint that was with Joel Ortiz, Mano, Big Daddy Kane,
right? And that was like,
shout out to Big Daddy Kane too. Imagine going to Bushwick Park and you see Big Daddy Kane performing a verse that you did with him.
Big Daddy
that shit
Kane
was crazy. Like, and then man, shout out to Big, and he a legend.
Legends.
And to be on the track with Big Daddy Kane, how many dudes could say they been on the track with Big Daddy Kane? I'm one of them. I'm one of them. So
let me see. I'm trying to get everything in before we wrap up.
Yeah.
So okay. Top 5 rappers.
Mine?
Give me a top 5 rappers. Any era.
Top 5
it don't
rappers.
have to be.
Era. Nah, I'm gonna give you my top 5 rappers. I do this. I'm with the shits. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say Nas, Biggie, Pac, Jay, and I just love Nip. I love Nip. I just love what he do.
Nip.
Yeah, Nipsey Hussle. Top 5, like who I listen to all day or whatever. And I'm gonna say an honorable mention, probably Big Pun. You know what I mean? Like probably Big Pun. Like, but don't see that's just my era. Cause you gotta throw Rakim in there. You know what I mean? You gotta throw Rakim in there, and you gotta throw those guys. But in my era, I'm gonna go Big Nas, J, Pac, and then I'm gonna throw Nip in there. You know what I mean? Honorably mentioned Big Pun.
Okay.
Big Pun. I might move quick, but I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
What else I wanted your opinion on? What's your opinion on the Diddy situation, and do you think Diddy was actually having these freaky parties, or do you think it's because he started going at it with the liquor brands? He wanted his.
I think. All right. I'm not even gonna get deep into the liquor ban and all of that. I'm not even gonna go get deep. I think if he was having these freaky parties, I don't know about the trafficking or nothing like that. I don't know. They gotta prove that, but if he was having freaky parties, let that man. That's that man. I don't want to hear about that man' personal life. Let that man go. If he ain't do nothing derogative to kids, or nothing bad to as far as raping women or something like that, let that man go. Let that man go. If he want to do extracurricular activities in his bedroom, let him do that. But other than that, let that man go. Now, if he was wilding out with kids and doing unsolicited stuff, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, he got to pay for his consequences. But if he wasn't doing that and y'all just knocking him for being him and having freaky parties, then what? Why are we getting locked up? We getting locked up for that nowadays? No bail? You know? So I really don't know his charges. I ain't tap in, but that's just my take on it.
All right, hold on. I got specific questions, but this is also it didn't go. You actually my project, because this is a specific segment that I want to make a part of my show. I'm mad I smoke so much weed because I can't think of the name of the segment right now, and that is horrible. Give me a second. I'm gonna tell you right now. Chef G. Tell me what's your thought about Chef G.
I love Chef G. Shout out to Chef G. Free Chef G. They just actually Chef G is a real close friend of my little brother Mikey.
Chef is a cool ass dude.
I love Chef G. I love his music. I love everything he's doing out here right now. Shout out to Chef G. Like, free Chef G. I know he about to go in. He just got sentenced to 5 years. Him and my brother is close. Shout out to my brother Mike, Bo. Y'all know how we giving it up out there in the East, man. So
salute to everybody coming home that just touched down.
Shout out to Chef G, man. Like, I think he's just a dope artist. He's just a dude that's just come from the hood, trying to do his thing. And he kind of made it and did what he had to do. Y'all don't know the circumstances when we come from where we coming from. So, you know what I mean? Cut my boy some slack. Free Chef G, and go check out his new album too.
All right. So now the name of this segment is called Your Point of View.
Okay.
And from today on, this will be an actual part of the show. Okay. So you are my first guest that we're doing this segment with.
That's what's up.
So your point of view, I asked the questions messed up. I'm mad I did that.
Yeah.
But your point of view, so we said we got the Big U, we got the Diddy, we got the Chef G. I think that I got every question from your point of view.
All right.
Except what was your next project coming up? Mm-hmm. As far as it doesn't have to just be music. Right. Whether it's merchandise and radio appearance, documentaries, what I wanted to ask you about that we didn't have enough time, but we definitely will probably book another interview because we just talk all the time. So it's just like so natural, the time just flew. What do you have coming up next? Are you planning on doing any more documentaries? Do you see like your own documentary in the works, or do you plan any overseas tours coming up? That's
I'm gonna be going overseas. Shout out to my boy Ezio. We gonna be performing out in Poland. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be doing other stuff overseas, but actually I want to do like my own, like have my own network. I see like where these documentaries is taking me. So now I want to like have my own shows, build up my own YouTube. And I was waiting to release this album because they was waiting for some music for me for so long, probably like a year and a half. So I wanted to give them music because music is the foundation of everything, of everything I do.
And timing is everything.
Yeah, and timing is everything. So I really want to get my own show, show my life, who I'm with. You know what I mean, what I do daily, you know what I mean, even my kids, the person I'm with, their life, all of that. So like I'm really trying to get into that because I feel like that's lucrative. That's what recreated me now. So like people loving who I am. like they started loving who I am and started going back to listen to my music.
So
And
your
that
old
shit
music.
just took, it just, you know what I mean, brung in money and brung in notoriety, it brung in just having me travel and being able to do some amazing things. So I really want to get into that. I really want to get into content.
Okay.
Content, like real, a lot of content and everything while making new music. I'm working on a new album with DJ B Original right now.
Okay.
Right now. So and me and my brother rap from my father's side, High, we gonna do an album called Brothers from Another Mother. I think that'll be dope because it's had never been done before. So to see two brothers that's really from a different from other mothers spitting and doing it. He's dope. Y'all go check him out. My boy, Young High, that's his name.
Okay.
Y'all check him out, and you know we gonna bring him out. But I really want to get into content and really inspiring people through music and content, and just creating shows like a network. You know what I mean? I want to do a show probably called Cashmere World where y'all just get in tune with my world and I show y'all what I'm doing on a daily. Like it'd be like a season of 10 shows and everything, and we just get involved in that. And you know what I mean? I want to get this YouTube money. There's a lot of money on YouTube right now with the advertising.
I hear. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. So, you know.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I want to wrap up with, if you can give a message to your younger self, what would the message be? And after that, I want you to follow up with, where can people find you?
All right.
That if they're looking for your music or they're looking for just your personality, where can they find you? What platforms are you on? What's the most interactive platform for your fans to interact with you?
I would say Instagram and YouTube, but you know what I mean, like
and what's your handle on Instagram?
My handle on Instagram and YouTube is BK Cashmere TCA. You could just Google BK Cashmere and just get, or everything will pop up. And if you want to listen to the music, it's everywhere, iTunes, everywhere, wherever, Amazon, iHeartRadio, everything. So but as far as the question where you said, what would I tell my younger self? What kind of advice would I tell my younger self is, man, that's a good question.
That's why I left it for the last question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna say, sheesh, all right, Si, you stumping me. I'm gonna say, be yourself. Continue to be yourself. As far as giving my younger self, I would say, if you want me to go back from me being who I am, and
for
talking
you,
to
you talking to yourself in the mirror,
I'm gonna be like, now you about to have me talk shit.
Hey,
I'm gonna say,
you gotta be honest with yourself.
I'm gonna say, you always been that nigga. You always been that nigga. Don't let nobody tell you nothing less. And now we that nigga. You know what I mean? We who we set out to be. We did that. We got on the radio. We did everything from getting kicked out of Franklin K. Lane to being on Hot 97 to having Lil Kim, Jadakiss perform, coming to see you perform, having Angie Martinez shout you on the radio, from being played by all the major DJs to traveling across the world. We did that shit. You know what I mean? And we still here doing that shit. So we gonna put thanks to God, and we gonna keep moving and keep doing that shit.
That's a dope message to self.
Yeah.
So on that note, because I don't think we could have ended it no better than that. On that note, I appreciate you for coming to No More Famous
you, brother.
podcast.
I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate that you keep hip hop alive.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know, whenever you got something dropping, you know, it's always home. We always talk on the phone, but like I said, I want people to know that I fuck with you in public the same way I fuck with you.
They need to know.
You know what I'm saying?
They need to know. I am Brooklyn. I am the East. You know what I mean? Like, listen, man, Cut From a Different Cloth is out now. The album is amazing. It's fire. Y'all gonna see some new videos out. And I'm right here chilling with my boy Si on No More Favors podcast, because we ain't giving out no more favors, man.
Hey, keep your head tucked.
Yeah.
Keep your head high.
Uh-huh.
Keep your guards up. No More Favors podcast. We out.
Yep.